Hey everybody, Tyler here at The Movie Beat. It's 2019, so Happy New Year's to you all. I hope you had a great holiday season, however you decided to spend it. But before we leave 2018 in the past, in this video I really wanted to share my thoughts with what I thought were the best Korean movies to come out in 2018. Overall, I think it was a pretty good year, above average, if I might say, for Korean cinema. Despite some big disappointments that we got, there were a lot of surprises, for me at least, and it helped make this a real memorable year. And also, 2018 was the year that I started making the video reviews instead of just the written reviews on the website. So it is a pretty big year for me, because going to the cinema, I think knowing that I was going to make these reviews really made the film watching experience much more enjoyable. So I just want to say thank you for watching these videos, and I hope it makes I hope they have made your interest in Korean cinema much more enjoyable and possibly helped you to select which movies you're going to watch. So without further ado, let's get into the top 10 Korean movies of 2018. Number 1 will be my favorite, and we're going to start with number 10. All of them, I think, were very good. So it wasn't that difficult for me to narrow down this list. I am pretty happy with my picks, so let me know after you watch the video if you agree, or if you thought maybe I left something out that you would have liked to see on the top 10. So let's get this started. One of the last big releases of 2018 was also one of the year's best. Based on true events, The Drug King chronicles the 10-year rise and fall of a legendary drug kingpin in 1970s Korea. What the film lacks in coherent storytelling, it more than makes up for with its electrifying performances and dazzling visual flair. Song Kang-ho is a tour de force from start to finish. The film Believer made a believer out of me this year, and is probably the year's best representative for that signature neo-noir genre that Korean film does so well. With its in-your-face portrayal of our narcotics industry bordering on sheer silliness, the film somehow manages to strike just the right notes through its electric ensemble cast, innovative camera work, and its thundering soundtrack that made for one hell of a fun time at the movies. The true crime genre traditionally only applies to non-fiction films, but when fiction films like Dark Figure of Crime that are so well researched and dramatically portray the facts of the case and crimes with such painstaking accuracy, one has to question whether the definition of true crime film could be expanded. Ripe with overtones of some of the greatest Korean crime films, the delicate balance to both entertain audiences while preserving the honor of the victims and integrity of an ongoing investigation is handled brilliantly in this film. Another Korean film based on real events, the story of the real-life South Korean secret agent codenamed Black Venus, who amazingly infiltrated the inner circle of the North Korean elites, including a legendary sit-down meeting with leader Kim Jong-il, with the hopes of obtaining vital intel on their nuclear weapons program, is as rewarding a watch as it is eye-opening. What Black Venus ultimately ends up exposing is as mind-blowing as it is frustrating to learn about, and a political scandal that makes Nixon's Watergate operation look like mere child's play. Some films have a kind of quiet but genuine charm that can leave the most lasting of impressions. Little Forest is one such film that will slowly seep into your soul through its poignant meditation on the expectations and pitfalls of modern life by contrasting them with a colorful and spiritually fulfilling throwback to simplicity, where three friends reconnect in their rural hometown and begin working on a self-sustaining farm of their own throughout 4 brilliantly photographed seasons. Don't watch Little Forest on an empty stomach. Despite being a remake of the Italian film Perfect Strangers, Intimate Strangers was not only one of the biggest surprises of 2018, but it was also the most entertaining Korean film of the year. This Dinner Party Gone Wrong has been perfectly adapted for its Korean setting and hits all the sweet spots with its impeccable comedic timing, top-shelf performances, and smart handling of some taboo subject matter. Have a glass of wine or two and enjoy Intimate Strangers with friends and loved ones. When the goosebumps don't disappear until an hour or so after the credits finish rolling, it can be hard to make sense of the experience your mind and emotions have just been put through. But there really isn't much that could have prepared me for the dark indie masterpiece that is After My Death, a film that is both cold and bold as it explores the darker recesses of the often fragile and developing teen psyche and the various disturbances that, when left to fester, can produce devastating personal and societal consequences. Covering a whole gamut of sensitive and relevant topics like the education system, bullying, depression, homosexuality, and suicide, After My Death might best come with a warning label, as it's sure to test even the most seasoned of filmgoers. Even though it was technically released on December 27, 2017, the film 1987 was largely seen in 2018, and being at risk of falling through the cracks of the release calendar and not finding itself on either my 2017 or 2018 list would have been an embarrassment, so I've made the executive decision to include it in this year's list. A film grand in nearly every aspect, from its star-studded cast to its chain reaction-styled multiple-character narrative connected via live wire, 1987 is based in the same tumultuous decade as last year's incredible A Taxi Driver, and puts one of the largest ever nationwide civil uprisings in Korea on the largest stage imaginable, and encapsulates yet another important yet dark time in Korea's history. Keys to the Heart manages to do so well what so many other mainstream movies try to do but often fall short in one department or the other, and that's deliver on both the comedy as well as the drama. The family dynamics in Keys to the Heart couldn't have been written better, as the lead trio of actors provide such a broad spectrum of relatability that it's near impossible for one to leave the film without having a few chords of their own heartstrings vibrating long after the credits finish rolling. Nearly 8 years since the release of his previous film, master filmmaker Lee Chang-dong gifted the world his latest masterpiece in 2018 with Burning. Burning is a complex and multi-layered masterwork that can only be seen as a new pinnacle achievement in filmmaking. Burning is the film of 2018 that was by far the most intellectually enjoyable for me as a film fan, as YouTube allowed me to interact with literally dozens of other filmgoers as we shared in our various interpretations and analysis of the film's ambiguities and potential readings into of. The success of Burning proves that director Lee Chang-dong is not only a local treasure, but one also for the world as director at the forefront of modern cinema. So that's going to do it for my best of 2018 Korean movies list. Let me know what you thought of my picks below. Until next time, I'm Tyler at The Movie Beat. Keep watching movies.